full stop. You cannot tolerate this, and we should not be tolerating it, and we should be putting our foot down and actually saying, not having it. Johnny boy!
Hello, mate.
How we doing, mate?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Missed you.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you. Let's get back into the swing of things. And before we do the introductions, and I, formally welcome you into tonight's recording session of this week's The Groove Junction. Welcome back to everyone for The Groove Junction, episode 37. 37 weeks. 37 weeks back to back. Well, that deserves a round of applause. And in true style, I've not got the applause button ready. There we go. You'd like to think this is scripted in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, enough of the applause. Yeah, 37 weeks, man.
Yeah, man,
back
good
to back. Welcome to the Groove Junction, everyone. My name's DJ Matty F, and I am alongside my co-host, the main man himself, Mr. DJ John Colley.
Yes, mate. Yes. You're looking good.
Thanks, man. I feel a little bit refreshed, it has to be said.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I wasn't working, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that
when we get to the rundown. But thank you for everyone who has logged in today, downloaded, listened, or jumped on any of their podcast providers, including YouTube and Spotify video player, for this week's edition of the Groove Junction. Yes, and here we are, week 37. We are ticking along nicely. I must say, actually, another 2 countries popped up this week.
Get in. Who are these then? They've got 2 countries?
2 countries. We had Israel.
Nice.
And we had, I can't remember the one off the top of my head. I'll find it in the break and I'll let you know.
Find it in the break.
I'll find it in the break. But yeah, so we've definitely got, I definitely know that we had a couple more countries drop on the list, which is great.
Great stuff.
Love. We're going global. Where's the button for that? I'm not even looking. I'm not even looking. I've got to sort these buttons out. But as always, the Pro Mobile magazine kindly sponsors the Groove Junction Rundown, which we'll get into.
The Groove Junction Rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface-level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews? They feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code, GroovePMSUB, for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile, for sponsoring the rundown. Rundown time. John,
Yes.
I'm going to start with the rundown. I have done absolutely not a jiffy. I was away with the family. I say family. I took the 6-year-old. She came with me, and we went down to see my sister down in the southwest, down in Exeter, and had a bit of family time down there, which was nice.
Lovely.
However, I would say, actually, John, I did get approached to go into a club on Saturday night.
Okay.
But I wasn't available and I wasn't around. So, yeah.
Okay.
Say la vie. Say la vie. Bewitched said.
Say la vie.
Say la vie.
Say la vie. Say la vie. So the southwest down, like Exeter way, that sort of down.
Yes.
So, okay. The weather good?
It rained all day on Friday, on Good Friday. It rained absolutely all day long.
You're a bit of a jinx when it comes to weather, aren't you?
I tell you what, I am a little bit of a jinx at this moment. I've got to shake it off, to be honest. Shake it off.
Shake it off. Didn't Taylor Swift do that one?
I'm just throwing out the ad-libs today in relation to the songs. I'm just throwing them out there. So Saturday was all right. We went out and did a little bit of sightseeing, went to a bit of a theme park down in Devon, and then came back Sunday.
Love that.
Yeah. So here we are. So how was you had a busy weekend?
Yeah, it was busy. So Friday, Good Friday was like, it was an all-day event which they'd said to me, they said, we're going to have about 600 people coming. I said, okay, yeah, brilliant. I'm looking forward to it. Over 1,000 people turned up.
Wow.
And yeah, it was mental. It was so much fun. It really was. I mean, all I was doing was basically just hosting it. So I just had my little combi booth, a couple of speakers and a microphone. That's all I had. Standalone with the Denon Prime 4. Love that. And yeah, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're hungry, you know, the barbecue's there, all that sort of stuff, all the announcements and all of that. And then all of a sudden...
You're a good host. You're a good host.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just putting it out there.
No, someone did actually come up to me and comment and said, oh, I like the way you're speaking on the microphone. You're very clear. Now, which is unusual because I'm actually quite a fast speaker.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to tell myself to sort of slow down. But
I'm fully aware of that. I have to turn your speed down for the edit.
But yeah, no, it was great. And then a couple of children come up to me. Oh, hi, you're the DJ at our school. I was like, oh, great. Well, what school did you go to? And we had a little chat, and then the parents come over, and I said, oh, hi, I do the DJ at their school. Yes, we know, like this. So that was
shout outs.
Yeah. So one lady come up to me, and she's like, oh, hi there. She said, is there any chance you could do a birthday shout out for us? I said, absolutely, of course I can. She said, it's, what was the baby's name? No, she was only 1 year old.
Okay, she's going to remember that shout out. Yeah.
You know, after a few hours, they come back to me as they were leaving. They said, thank you ever so much for that. It was so nice of you to do that. I was like, oh, okay,
Can you do it again? Because we want to record it and show when she's two.
I even played them happy birthday as well.
You are the DJ that just
keeps on giving, mate. Just keep on giving.
You are the gift, the DJ that keeps on giving.
This woman come up to me as well. She said, can you play the Spider-Man theme that Michael Bublé did?
What?
And yeah, exactly my fault. And I'm like, right, typing on my screen, you know, Michael Bublé, and I'm going through, and I'm thinking, I can't see nothing.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, nothing Spider-Man. So I thought, I know, I'll use Tidal. Spider-Man, Michael Bublé, Bosh, first track there. So I'm like, well, did it, played it, right? Woman come over, bounding over to me. She said, oh, thank you ever so much. You've made my day. And I'm like, it is just the Spider-Man spins a web. It's that. But in like Michael Bublé's jazzy sort of voice, you know?
Right,
like,
okay.
Wow, okay. Loved it, she did. Took a party booking as well. Woman come up to me. She said, like, I volunteer, you know, I'm volunteering today. Love what you've done. And I'm thinking, no disrespect to anyone, but when you...
It comes to disrespect, everybody.
No.
Stand by your beds.
No.
Get the alert button ready.
If I'm honest, totally honest, not a lot of effort has to go in when you're hosting an outdoor event where there is no structure.
No.
You know, I've got a playlist, an outdoor playlist I've got.
Go fluid.
Exactly. Straight away, can I book you? What date do you have? She told me the date. I said, yep, I'm available. Go onto my website, send me the contact details via the website. Bosh, in the system, done, booked, deposit already paid. Right? Yeah. Love that. Right? Done. And then a couple of people come up and ask for business cards. Ooh. A little while, at children's parties, only at children's parties, I take my roller banner, which has got DJing Entertainment, phone number, email address. Right, take that with me.
Nice little plug. Well done.
Yep, but I only take for kids' parties, no adults or weddings or anything like that. But then I stopped taking it because it was just like, oh, God, get out, put it up. I can't bother with all that, so I stopped doing it. So at the weekend, because I was doing an outdoor event, people don't know who I am, because it was the venue that booked me, put the banner up. The amount of people that come up to the banner and took a picture. Yes, I did. Yes, I took the banner.
Against my...
No, your advice was for the... No,
Yeah, very true. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but this was an outdoor event.
Okay.
So anyway, loads of people were taking pictures of my banner, and a few people come up and asked for business cards. So
nice.
There you go. And they fed me, and I got loads of tea, or I got loads of coffee and soft drinks and everything. Lovely. Yeah, really good. And they booked me for next year. So that was Friday. That's Friday daytime.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, I had to whip down to Wickford to do an 18th birthday down there.
Yeah.
That was a slow start, but it was really good in the end.
Okay.
And then Saturday. Oh, kids, joint children's birthday. There's big age gap. 3-year-old and 11-year-old.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, really good. Chatting away with one of the other vendors there, which was the Candy Floss man.
Yeah.
He's invited me down to Burnham on Crouch to his 19th, his desserts shop,
nice.
Which is great. Love that guy. He was really nice. Really, really nice.
Okay.
Sunday, family day, and today is just been getting stuff ready for this week.
Nice.
But
Love
there you
that.
go. Other than that, I ain't really done anything.
No, not a thing. Not a thing. Do you know what I'm really thinking of getting?
Go on.
To move away, I'm sort of going back slightly in what you said about the people ask for business cards, and you went, "Oh, look at my roller banner." Everybody answers in the comments whether you agree with roller banners or not. Me, I am not a lover of the roller banner. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put that straight out there. However, John does like a roller banner. Let's see in the comments. Do you like the roller banner as a bit of advertising, or do you think this is my next option in relation to advertising? You can get these square plates that people put their phones over the top, and then it goes straight to where you want it to go.
Yep.
I am thinking of getting a few of those made up. There you go.
See, yes, it's a great idea.
I know.
And it is a great idea. I mean, I've got a digital business card on my phone where I can tap someone's phone and all my details go over as well.
That's fine. That means you have to get your phone out. However, you could quite easily put these little plates on your booth. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, they've still got to get their phone out, haven't they?
Yes, but that's...
Well, there you go then. So you've just contradicted your...
No. What I'm saying is...
Oh, okay. I don't have to get my phone. No, that's true. But then, with my roller banner, I don't have to get my phone out anyway. They've just got to take a picture of it.
Okay, everyone, let's see the comments. I want to see the comments flying in. Do you agree with using a roller banner at your events, or do you not?
The only thing that I could... No.
There's here come the T's and C's in relation to this. Go on.
With your idea,
yes.
How are people going to see that you've got this plate on your booth? How are they going to see that?
They come up and they ask, "Can I have your card?"
Right. But then with my roller banner, people might not want to approach the DJ, because there are people that don't like to approach the DJ. They go, "Oh, look, there's his banner. Done." And I'd zoom in. I'd be on the other side of the room, Matt. I'm just saying. I'm just fighting my case, because I've got a feeling that, your idea is good and your idea will work. Mine is already working, and I just think I deserve to win this competition.
It's a competition now. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, answers in the comments, everyone. Let's see. Would you have a roller banner as advertising a gig, or would you normally just go with a business card or these magical plates?
The magical plates are good. They are good.
Yes, which I'm looking into as we speak. But yes, let's see the comments. So that's the rundown. This week's rundown. There's not much really happened from my side. So yeah, let's thank Pro Mobile Magazine for sponsoring this week's The Rundown.
Thank you, Pro Mobile Magazine.
So, Johnny, I want to talk about a few things. Now, the reason I say I want to talk about a few things is because it's a podcast and that's what we're supposed to be doing. talk about things, because otherwise it's just really boring for people.
Yeah, it would be.
But I want to bring this up into conversation. And once again, I'll be really interested to hear and see people's comments in relation to this. So we are getting close to busy periods of time now for the DJ community. And this is more so for mobile DJs, but obviously this does relate to club DJs as well. So I'm not leaving anybody out.
Don't leave anybody out.
Don't leave anyone out. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is let's talk about how we should be dealing with people. I'm seeing a lot on social media where people are coming up and really annoying, really condescending, really disrespectful to our fellow DJs, whether that is in clubs, bars, mobile work. I'm going to give you a scenario, okay? So this happened a couple of weeks ago on a silent disco. Now, on hindsight, I wish I'd done more. At the time, it was treated as a bit of a joke. But there was a member of the public who was at one of our silent discos who was being really, really rude to one of the DJs and being a little bit aggressive. I say aggressive, that might be a little bit too strong, but was being really obnoxious towards the DJ. Okay. And the DJ was just doing their job, not getting really involved and just, being very polite about things and going no. But this person was really pushing it to the point where it was getting close towards the end, and I was thinking they're going to be gone anyway in a minute. So there's no point, getting a bit narky with it or getting security over to say, right, see that person there, kick him out because they're just being really horrible. But it got to the point, and the reason where I'm going with this, it got to the point is that they actually ended up staying for the second session. They blagged their way and ended up staying for the second session.
Okay.
And they continue to be a little bit more abusive towards one of the DJs.
Right. Okay.
And to be honest, I am really, even 2 weeks on, annoyed with myself because I didn't do anything.
Okay.
She should have been kicked out. This woman should have been kicked out. The way she was towards one of the DJs was unacceptable. Yeah. The language and tone that she was directing towards the DJ was unacceptable. And me as the DJ booker, and I don't like to class myself as a head DJ in any way, shape or form, part of the team, but the standards needed to be set. And I don't think I followed through with that. So the question I'm sort of, there's a very long way of getting around to what the point I'm making.
No. Oh, you need to get it for context.
But how do we deal with rude people? Now, I know you've mentioned this before, that you've got things in your terms and conditions that you deal with, and you go, I'm not going to tolerate X, Y, and Z, and that's in your contracts that you do, and it's in mine as well. But ultimately, that's just one person. If you've got a room of X amount of people, you're not going to pull the plug on everything because of one person and walk away from it. No. So I'd be interested to know from people's comments, how do you deal with people like that? That is, one, not going to disrupt the whole night for everybody that's there. How do you deal with that issue?
Well, I know you say you don't want to disrupt the whole night for everyone, but sometimes you get pushed so much by these rude people that the only way that something is that anything is going to change is to do something drastic. So as an example, I did a wedding. A bloke come up to me, he said, "Mate, this music's rubbish, no one's dancing." And I'm like, "Well, the dance floor's full." I said, "Oh, what would you like to hear?" Very polite, "What would you like to hear? Tell me what you'd like to hear, and I'll play it." So he mentioned, right, can you, whatever it was, whatever genre, we'll just say that we'll just say ska for now, because I can't remember what it was. So I said, "No problem." I said, "Give me a couple of minutes, I'll get some ska on for you." Played some ska. He didn't dance, he was just over by the bar. Come back over. "I effing told you to do this and this and this." I said, whoa. I said, "Slow down, mate." I said, "I played you songs." I said, "You didn't dance." I said, "Because I was watching you." I said, "I'm more than happy to play some more for you, but you can't be talking to me like that, okay?" Turned around, played a couple more songs. Then he tapped me on the shoulder. He went, "Mate, I'm still talking to you." And I said, "Well, I'm finished talking to you. You're rude." I said, "I've done what you asked." And I said, "I'll do some more." I said, "But you carry on." I said, "I won't. You're paid to do this, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Talk to me like it one more time, pal." I said, "And that's it, your party's over, right?" He said, "You can't let me tell me what to do." So I shut the fader off, turned the fader off. Of course, everybody looks around at the DJ. And I looked and I said, "Go on, mate." I said, "Tell them." He went, "What do you mean?" I said, "Tell them why we've stopped the music." He went, "Just put the music back on." I went, "No, tell them why we've turned the music off." Anyway, the groom come over. He said, "Is there a problem?" I said, "Yeah, there is." I said, "This guy," I said, "he's being rude." Told him the story in short. He said, what can we do?" I said, "Just ask him to be, like, civil. That's it." So I'm not asking him to get kicked out or anything like that. And he went, "All right." I said, "Pull him up, put the music back on." Towards the end of the night, he come up again, started being a bit rowdy with it, and the groom pulled him off straight away. And it was all right. The party ended, and I went up to the bride and the groom. I said, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry that had to happen." I said, "But when I've been putting up with that for over an hour, okay, something had to be done because he wasn't paying any attention, and I didn't want to ruin your day." He went, "No, mate." He said, No. And they were understanding. Now, I'm not saying that is the route to go down. That is just an example of what happened to me. I think we are working for someone. Whatever party we're doing, someone is paying us to be there. So you have to maintain a level of professional, the level of professionalism. They say that the customer's always right. They're not always right, but you still need to remain professional. And if it means calling over security, say, "Look, can you have a word with this guy?" Or if there is no security, have a word with the bar manager or whatever. Try and remain professional. For God's sake, don't start. Someone said to me, one tip: if you're in an argument, as soon as you swear, you've lost that argument. As soon as you swear. If you effing and blind back at them, you've lost, all right? Try and stay calm. Now, inside, you can be seething.
That's a good bit of advice.
Thank you. Yeah, not a Groove Junction goodie though, no.
No. It's not definitely not a Groove Junction goodie. It's good advice.
But no, it is.
I think. Listen, you're a big bloke. You used to work doors in clubs and bars, etc. I think where I'm trying to go with this, and it's a sort of advice that we need to be giving our listeners in the sense of our younger audience, and even DJs who are a little bit introvert rather than like yourself being a very extrovert type of chap, and are happy to speak your mind and say, look, that's not acceptable. Let's flip it slightly. You're a young DJ, 17, 18, 19 years of age, starting in the business. How do you deal with it?
See, that is the
Tough,
thing.
isn't
I
it?
mean,
It's tough.
it is tough because one, you're just, if you are just starting out, you don't want to ruin anything you've got going forward.
No.
But on the same token, you don't want to be taken for a fool, by one person, just because the thing is, confidence, your self-confidence will grow the more you do parties.
Yeah.
That will grow. You will get to see what the evening entertainment, the evening industry is more like. The more you go out, you will get an idea of it. So you kind of know who to keep. As soon as they walk through the door.
I think the advice I would give is it follows on what John said about be polite. If someone is being a bit abusive towards you and go and put a song on and you say, yeah, I'll do it in a bit, and they're still going and they're still chipping, find a point where they and eventually will walk off. And once they walk off, then go and speak to the bar manager, then go and speak to whoever's running that venue and have that conversation. Get them on side first and foremost. You don't have to go to the actual booker themselves. Go to the venue staff. Realistically, if it is in a licensed venue, if you're in a village hall or something else, then you'll have no choice but to go to the people that booked you. But I would say find somebody that you've already connected with in that evening, that you've had a passing conversation with, and they've been quite warm back to you, and utilize that person as potentially a safety net for this scenario that this happens. There is no real right answer or wrong answer to this. It's just purely how you would deal with this. But anyone new doing it or young in age that has had that confrontation from a mobile point of view, from a mobile DJ point of view, you are the only person there.
Yeah.
And you're on your own. If you go into nightclubs and other things, you're in a booth. You've got protection. You've got security. Whether it's in a pub, bar, or nightclub itself. So you've got that layer that you can rely on. From a mobile DJ point of view, from a solo op point of view, when you're there on your own, you need to have your senses about you, in the sense of making sure you are aware of your whereabouts, and also your clients who you're doing the job for, but obviously lean on those people in the venues who work behind the bar, that side of things, that you can potentially get some help from if it ever happens. I'll be interesting to know whether or not anyone's had many issues with this, and the advice, because we are part of that community. Give that advice, put it in the comments. Whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, put it in the comments and let us know how you have dealt with it, any scenarios that you've come across. But it's a difficult one, and as we get into the summer, people end up drinking a little bit more.
Drink a lot more, don't they, in the summer? A good weather, especially if you're doing an outdoor one. I mean, even if if you're like a resident DJ at a pub. You turn out, you rock up on a Saturday night, it's been 28, 30 degrees all day. They've been drinking out in the garden all day. They're smashed by the time you even get there. So they've got a full skinful. So I think it's always important, for these mobile DJs that go into venues that have bar staff. And that is to strike up a conversation, a connection, and make allies, if you like, with them. When you get there, be polite. Hi there, I'm John, the DJ. I'm DJing tonight, blah, blah, blah. Mate who comes out, oh, how are you guys doing? You busy? Yeah. Okay. What sort of music do you like? That sort of thing. And try to get them on
sound limiter. Have you got a sound limiter in here?
Mate, them things.
Ask that question straight off the bat. Are we allowed to use haze in here?
That never happens.
Any ways of having that conversation?
Anything that you're going to get a conversation, even if it's with, okay, what time's your last orders? Could you come over and give me a little nudge to remind me? Things like that, and make them a part of it. And one of the things that I do in venues, like the 18th birthday I did on Friday, halfway through the night, you know, I was playing a song and there's quite a big instrumental bit in there. And I said, oh, so shout out to our birthday boy, Harry, blah, blah, blah. Or James, his name was. Shout out to James. It wasn't Harry, it was James. Got Harry on my mind. And let's give a big shout out to our bar staff who are looking after us tonight, right? And that was it. They got a big cheer. Of course, they were happy because it's like, oh my God, we've got a mention. You know, he mentioned that sort of thing. So anything you could do to sort of like help them come on your side, should you need it. I mean, I haven't had a lot of issues. If I'm in all the years I've been DJing, I haven't had a lot of issues.
Maybe. Size helps, mate. I'm telling you now, size helps.
I mean, the thing is as well,
in our industry.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, I'm older as well. You know, I'm pushing 50. Take our friend Josh. I mean, he's what, 17? He's not even 18 yet, I don't think.
Coming up 18, I think. Yeah.
Great guy, really nice guy, and I dare say that if me and him were sort of DJing next to each other, sort of thing, I dare say that he would be the one that would get the flack me rather than me, because I'm older and all that. So I think that the younger people coming into it, I don't want you to be deterred by it because it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, we've got to be aware of it.
Yeah,
we've got a job to do, and you can't tolerate it.
No,
what I'm saying, and this is one thing that I'm still struggling with. I allowed what happened at the silent disco. I tolerated it and allowed it to happen, and it wasn't directly affecting me. It was directly affecting one of my team members.
Yeah. So
and I'm struggling with not dealing with that. And I know if that ever happens again, that person's gone. I'm not standing for that, and they're gone.
No. What do you? Well, I think you've just answered my question actually. So now you've had time to reflect on the situation that happened, and you're kicking yourself because you didn't act on it. How would you approach that situation? Now you've had time to think about what do you think you should have done?
Informed security and got them out.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
no one is there to tolerate abuse. And whether it's done in the sense of, oh, you need to play my thing, you need to play my record, you need to play my record. No, I'm not playing it because I can't play it because it's not in the decade or whatever it should be or whatever the scenario is. Full stop. You cannot tolerate this, and we should not be tolerating it, and we should be putting our foot down and actually saying, not having it. And if it means doing what you did in your scenario and going, I'm turning it down. You know, I'm turning the music off. Don't speak to me like that again. I'm here to do a job. If any walk of life, any job that you do, you're not going to stand there and get abused. No. Well, unless you're a football referee, then you're definitely going to get abused. But you shouldn't be in a position where you should be taking abuse in any shape or form. And we need to do better. We need to do better, and we need to protect ourselves when we're out solo opping. But even when I'm out with the scenario that I discussed, I needed to get involved and I needed to have gone, it's unacceptable. You need to leave.
Yeah. And the fact that they'd already had one session and blagged the second session.
I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, But then you've acknowledged to yourself, you've seen what you should have done, and it won't happen again now. The lesson's been learned from it.
But I'll be interested to hear people's thoughts on people who are a bit abusive towards us whilst we're working. So please put them in the comments. We're going to have a quick little break, Johnny boy, and afterwards we're going to have some more discussions about...
I like it.
Yeah, let's keep chatting, man.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Right, I'll see you
after the break, my friend.
Why did you add in my friend? Just do it normally, please. Don't start changing things. Don't start changing things up.
I don't know why I did that. Sorry.
I don't know why you did that.
I don't know why I did that.
I'll tell you what, John, tell everyone again. Yeah. We'll see you after
the break. So why did you come in and say the after bit?
No.
Why are you changing things?
Right, I'll tell you what, because you've put me right on the back foot here. Right, John, it's time for a break. I will see you
after the break.
Welcome back, John. Did you wash your hands? Look at you. Yeah, you did. Check you out. Love that. So, Just for the break, we were talking about abusive customers. Let's call them customers.
Customers.
Patrons. Or
Patrons.
punters. Or,
Punters.
you know what, punters. Punters, isn't it?
Punters.
Guests. Yes, we talk about abusive guests. I'm going to let's talk about microphone work, because the reason I'm going to talk about microphone work, one, is quite a key part of what we do.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've covered it. We covered it very early on in one of the early sessions.
Yeah.
One of the early episodes of the Groove Junction. But we're going to talk about microphone, because for me, the microphone is an absolute powerhouse.
Absolutely.
What we do. Yes, the music's there. How we transition the music from one to the other is also there. This is all fairly bog standard stuff that we do day in, day out, in our bedrooms, at live events, pubs, clubs, all over it. If you've not got the confidence to use a microphone, then you are potentially losing the ability for, one, further bookings, two, impressing the people that you are delivering your event to. And that doesn't matter if it's club work or even mobile work. You have to have some element of mic etiquette and mic control.
Yeah. And it is very valuable. I mean, also one of the things that you're potentially not going to get, you're not going to be able to improve your own performance if you don't know how to use a microphone. Yeah. You're not going to be able to be. Now, I mean, you and I, Matt, we love the mic. We love the mic work. Yeah. But if you was to go back to when you first started, it was probably the most scariest piece of equipment you owned. You know, I remember when I first started DJing, I literally said, hello.
That's a good start.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom.
Sounds like a telephone. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom. The buffet's ready. Thank you ever so much. Good night. They were like literally the four things I would say on the mic all night long. That would be it. Because I didn't like the sound of my own voice, right? I still don't like the sound of my own voice. And there's many people out there that don't like my voice either.
You'd say that, John. You'd say that. But we've got a very successful so far podcast. So they must love something about what we do.
But your voice sounds different in your own head, as we all know, right? One of the things when one of the guys that I worked with, and he kind of taught me the basics of the DJing and mixing and this and the other. I said, I'll take it on the mic. And he went, why? I went, oh, no, it's embarrassing everyone who looks at you. He said, right, number one, he went, hardly anyone's going to look at you.
No.
He said, and number two, he said, when do you think you are next going to see these people? And I'm like, well, probably never. And he went, right, so what difference does it make?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, that makes sense. So where I built up my confidence in my mic work was my sound check.
1, 2, sound check.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, is that what you got? You do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
I do 1, 2, 3 because I can't do anything above that. And then I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I don't do anything above that, whatever.
Why did you choose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Because it's longer than 1, 2, 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's different accent, there's different levels in the words, right?
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
that's your thing.
Yeah. So I did that, and then what I did, what I started doing with my thing is I would do a mock-up. So I would stand there and I'll give it. So what would I say? Say, oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the bride and groom. They're on the dance floor, or let's hear it for the bride and groom. Yeah, whatever it was, big shout out to our birthday boy, blah blah blah. And I would do that with no one in the room, just so I could hear myself over the loudspeakers.
Just the bar staff going, God,
mate,
he's up his own backside.
Yeah. But it was, and one of the other things I learned as well is a lot of people will do a sound check standing behind their decks. Then they go 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that works. You're behind the speakers. Get on the other side of the speakers. Get in front of the speakers. Number one, you could check for feedback. Now, should you have to go out onto the dance floor with your microphone?
You're going to get feedback.
Hey?
You're going to get feedback if you walk around the front with your microphone in front of your speakers.
Not if you set it up properly, you won't. Not if you set it up properly, you won't. Right? So I'm just saying these are things that I've learned, right? If you're hosting, so you may need to go out in front of the speaker. So you want to make sure that you're not going, because if you're out the front and you get feedback, you've got one bit, you don't need all that, right? So go out the front, listen to your voice. And also another tip as well is to have some music playing while you're doing your mic checking as well, to make sure that when it's put your faders up to like your maximum that you would have that sound. Then do a sound check. Can you hear yourself over the music? If you can hear yourself over the music, chances are you're too loud, because you 9 times out of 10 you dip the fader when you talk on the mic. Yeah, it's kind of basic thing. So yeah, get on the other side of the thing. And another thing as well is how to hold a microphone. Now, I don't actually have a microphone in my office, so I'm going to use this bottle. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Let me make sure the lid's on.
You're not going to use the podcast mic.
No, because then it will
You said you didn't have a microphone in your office.
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, you've got a podcast mic in front of you.
Yeah, but you tell me when we're off air, whatever you do, John, don't touch it because it makes a noise. So basically, your microphone, right? Don't talk to the microphone right with your lips and that touching the top. What you want to be able to do, you want your voice to travel over and around the microphone. Don't go like that, because no one will be able to hear you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to describe what John's doing.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Not everyone.
No, not everyone's watching, are they? No,
right.
Sorry.
So John is just putting a bottle right close to his mouth, so it's right up against him. But what he's saying is just have it
It's a couple of inches away.
Meters, an inch or an inch and a half away from your face, and then you can just talk over the microphone.
That's it,
and it picks everything up.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
So tell me, John.
Go on.
So you said you started with the first 4 phases.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yep.
The bride and groom. The buffet's ready.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Good night. Okay,
yeah, pretty much.
They're the four starter, right? Okay, so when did you progress? How long did you think it took you to progress from just these are the only 4 things I'm saying all night to, and that was Ed Sheeran thinking out loud.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you when I think it was. It was when I started doing the kids discos. When I remember my first school disco I did. It was nothing like what I do now. They're in their little pockets, dancing in a little corner. I want everyone to enjoy it. So at the time, Ollie Murs was like absolutely massive in the charts. So I just got on the mic and said, "We got some Ollie Murs coming up very shortly." The kids went mental for it, and I was like, "Oh, here we go, right." Now I know what they like. They like a bit of Ollie Murs, and whoever, I can't remember who else was like big at the time, but Years and Years was another quite big one at the time, I think.
But you got on the mic to say that.
Just to say, we've got some Ollie Murs coming up. And they went mad, and I was like, right, okay, so that is that simple. Now, these are kids, so in a way, I wasn't that nervous about it. I was still nervous because I never really spoke on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that sort of built my confidence up a little bit, because it was like, oh, people are actually listening to what I'm saying here. Right, okay, I need to work on that, because the reaction was so positive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, okay. So then I would say 9 months after first started was when I started really building up my own confidence on the mic. Now you can't shut me up.
Okay, so there is a difference, okay, with the fact of you've got to even once you've got past that threshold of being able to say a little bits and pieces on the microphone, which is great. Okay, that's the first thing. Is once you get over that hurdle and you're able to do that, the self-confidence comes with that, and then you are away.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say, I would make sure you are conscious and aware of saying not too much. Don't constantly talk on the mic all of the time.
Yeah, you don't. You want it short and snappy.
Yeah. Just don't talk all of the time. You don't need to talk all the time. You just need to have confidence to talk when you need to talk.
Yeah. And I think as well, there's that famous Peter Kay sketch, isn't there, where you got the mic rolling and he introduces every song. You don't need to do that.
No.
You really don't need to do that.
No, you don't need to do any of that.
If you find that your dance floor may be getting a little flat, and it's like, the bride's on the dance floor, you could get on I do, if I feel it's getting a little bit flat, the bride's on the dance floor, I'll give it, let's hear it for our bride on the dance floor. That's it. They start cheering up a little bit. And then you kind of use the mic as, I was going to say a weapon, but it's not a weapon, is it?
No, it is a weapon. It's a weapon of control that we have to be able to inject some energy into the room. That's how I use the microphone. I use it purely as an energy booster.
I think also as well is when we've all had them parties where they'll give you a playlist, or they'll say open format, do what you want, and you've done an hour, you've done 2 hours, and you're like, listen, nothing is working, and nothing is getting them up on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So I then get on. I will use, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you want a song played, please come up and see me. Don't be shy, come up and see me. And people will come up, even if it's like Aunt Betty, she'll come up and say, oh, you got some Beatles you can put on. But you think, okay, right, you like the Beatles, so that means there's people in this room that like the Beatles, even if it's just one person. But just because your dance floor's not busy doesn't mean people aren't enjoying your music. But you still need to use that microphone to encourage, try and make a bit of a contact with your crowd. If it's a bit of a flat, and we've all had them, we've all had parties where it's just like, it's like pulling teeth. Do you know what I mean?
There's been occasions that you try everything and anything and all genres, all decades, and just nothing's going to happen. It doesn't matter what you do, nothing's going to happen on that night. And you can play everything and anything, and it's still just those nights happen. And it doesn't matter what you do on the microphone. If anything, if people aren't going to get up, and
they just might not be a family or friends that are like that. I mean, you're talking microphones. I mean, I carry at least 2 microphones around with me. I've got a wireless one that I use, which is my main one, and I've got an SM58, which is a wired one, which I have as a spare in the bag as well. Do you have spares? Or you just have the one?
I've got 2 radio mics.
2 radio mics.
That's all I've got.
With your radio mics, you're battery operated.
Yeah.
So you've got spare batteries in your package. That's another. Yeah, it's another thing. Well, it's just another thing to.
I have to take spare batteries with me, and the reason I take spare batteries with me is because, John, you use my spare microphone when we do our silent discos, and like I said, you talk that much, I have to change the batteries a lot. How many times have I had to change the batteries, John?
I don't know. You do it so covertly, I wouldn't know.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm telling you now. Yeah.
It can't be that much, because normally you'd send me an invoice.
I'm deducting it from next month's wage.
Oh, okay, right.
The advice I would finish this off in relation to the mic work is do it when you need to do it. Do it to get energy back into the crowd, and also do it in the sense of when you're enjoying yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're enjoying yourself and having it, and you relay that over the microphone, not telling everyone, oh, yeah, I'm having a great time, but you're encouraging them. They're seeing that you're in the moment as much as they're in the moment. That then also works as well. So
I've got videos of me dancing behind the decks, and then I'll get on that, and I can't dance. That's why they say those who can't dance DJ. To be fair, that's what they say. But then
that's what you say.
But I'll stick with
You're
that.
the only one that says that.
Well, I like it. I
I know you do.
why are you giving me a hard time?
Because I'm allowed to, John. Because that's part of the parcel of the Groove Junction, is for me to give you as much of a hard time as possible.
Mate, I'm married. I don't need you to give me a hard time. I've got a wife.
So just listen. All I would say, microphone-wise, is practice makes perfect.
It does. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of your own voice.
Exactly.
Right? And remember, if you are a mobile jock or even a club DJ, the chances of seeing them people again are small.
Yeah.
Don't feel worried about, I'm going to embarrass myself.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So we've had a little chat about dodgy people. We've had a little bit of chat about microphone work. And before we finish off this session, let's talk music briefly.
Music, where'd you start with that?
I mean, that's a really big topic. Do we wait? Do we do it next week?
Well, I think
music next week.
Yeah, I think we should talk music next week. I think what we can, something for people to have a little think about until next week, is keep up to date with the music that's coming out. And the reason I say that, and we'll touch on this next week, and the reason I say this, we have got social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Mm-hmm. Every week there is a new trend coming out, a new song coming out. But what they're also doing is they're bringing back songs that you and I remember first time round. And these kids are going like, my son will say like, how do you even know this song, Dad? Mate, I was out first time round. I was here. So I think have a little think about this one for next week. But keeping on top of the latest trend of music, I think that is quite key, more so now than it has been in the past, especially with the fact that we are in a very digital world now.
Let's talk music next week then, yeah?
That's quite a big one. Let's do that.
So, John, another good little chat tonight.
What we done?
Another little, well, almost. We're just gonna have a little breakdown, and then we're pretty much there.
So quick. It's gone quite so.
Listen, I know this follows on from what you just said about about being married. You want to be out here talking to me all night constantly.
I'll be out here talking to you all night.
Exactly my point. But yeah, we've had a good little chat tonight. Loads of little nuggets. It hasn't met the threshold, unfortunately, for a Groove Junction goodie tonight. I know you're a little bit disappointed, but I don't think we've peaked. You can't just throw those out willy-nilly.
Well, even though you actually said, well, that's a good bit of advice, John.
It's a good bit of advice, but didn't meet the Groove Junction goodie standard.
Okay, fair play. No, I'll take that.
Okay. What you got coming up, man?
Oh, actually, here we go.
In fact,
go on.
I'm going to tell everyone what you've got coming up.
I'll go on then. Okay, go on then. Steal my thunder.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am sticking John Colley on a plane, and he is flying to Edinburgh to do a silent disco. Go on, you can go. You go.
There's nothing else I can say about that.
You tell him, because you were so excited.
I am excited about it.
I'm excited for you.
Huh?
I'm excited for you.
No, I am excited. I mean, I'm going up to Edinburgh on Friday to do a silent disco in a venue. It's not a cathedral. I know that much. No.
The Assembly Hall.
The Assembly Hall, that's right. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've done a little bit of research on Edinburgh. Right, it's a beautiful place.
Lovely place.
And I'm quite looking forward to going on the tram. Because we don't have a tram here in Essex.
Not in Essex, you don't?
No. And I've never been. I don't think I've ever been on a tram.
Okay, well, next time we go to Manchester, then you can go on the tram.
I think I won in Manchester as well.
Oh, my God.
See, I'm so uneducated.
All of our colleagues up in Manchester.
Well, I've never been to Manchester. Right, I've been to Liverpool. That's not far from Manchester. And I've been to Blackpool. I went on a donkey. I did go on a donkey.
Oh, my God. So your Friday,
I'm flying up to Edinburgh. I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that.
You're back on a plane.
Yeah, back on a plane Saturday morning, and I have a 30th birthday in the evening, Saturday evening, and then I've got Sunday off.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. What about yourself? Anything?
Yeah, I've got a 13, 14-year-old birthday party on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not doing the Edinburgh gig. I'm sending you instead. Well, you're in the hot seat.
Yeah, you know what? I'm quite excited about it. One, because I get to go on a plane. Don't go on a plane. I don't get out very much at all. So yeah, going on a plane. I'm going to a city that I've never been to before. I've never been to Edinburgh before. And yeah, I'm on the Green Channel. I've never done the Green Channel before, so I'm looking forward to doing that because it's something different. Blue at the moment. Blue is my favourite channel. You know that, but Green Channel. So party cheesy music from the '90s. So I'll be doing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I get to work with two guys that I've never worked with before.
Yeah, you're working with Aldo and you're working with Lonan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good night.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
It'll be a good night for you. Yeah, John's getting on a plane and he's going
global.
There you go. Yeah, he's going global. Man, have a great week.
You too, man. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, I'll see you Friday because I'm taking you to the airport. I'm doing Matt's cab. See, even if I'm not doing the gig, I've still got to drive him. I'm not even going, and I've still got to drive him to the airport, drop him off. I've got to collect him as well. You know,
mate. I tell you, this just honestly, just
like
one of the perks of being my friend.
Being your chauffeur?
Yeah,
as you pointed out last week,
mate. I'm not being funny, but the application list to be my chauffeur is massive.
Yeah, very small. Exactly. Exactly. Have a great week, man.
And you too, mate. Lovely to see you.
Enjoy your party on Saturday.
You too.
And I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this week's The Groove Junction, episode 37. 37 weeks, back-to-back episodes. I love it.
Man,
yeah, absolutely. I'm loving it. I see another song.
Just pop it out, mate. Just pop it out.
I'm just throwing the songs.
You're like a lyrical gangster. That's got me. That's got.
I was trying to think where the link was there, but
yeah, no, it's not actually the name of a song. It's a lyric within a song. But
yeah, which song is it? A lyric.
And Dex. Let's get ready to rumble.
God. We've just killed the podcast. There you go. Thanks for joining us on this week's The Podcast. We are the DJs Podcast. It is the Groove Junction. As always, tell your friends, tell your partners if you want, tell your new DJ friends, tell anybody. We're out there on all your podcast providers every week. Drops Friday, 10 a.m. As always, it's the Groove Junction. We will see you same time, same place next week. See you later, John.
Be safe, be lucky.
See ya.
Ta-da.